The field production of nursery stock represents a large section of nursery production in the state of Kentucky. Field plants, also known as balled and burlap plants, are grown directly in soil and are harvested with a ball of this soil surrounding the roots. Field trees are heavy and are generally sold to landscape professionals, while field shrubs may be sold through retailers. This short video will provide an introduction to the production practices used in nursery field production in the state of Kentucky. Soil health is extremely important for field production, as the act of harvesting field stock removes soil from the field. Harvesting an acre of red maples can remove 75 tons of upper horizon soil. For this reason, it is important for growers to maintain good soil health with proper cultivation and fallow years of multiple cover crops, which adds organic matter back into the soil. A minimum of an 80 horsepower tractor is used to chisel plow and disc the fields to prepare for planting. Field production begins with transplanting starter plants into rows in prepared field soil. This lining out stock, called liners, are usually purchased from a propagation nursery, which specializes in liner production. It is important to keep liners cool and moist until they are ready to be planted. Once the field is ready, a planter is used to plant the liners. Again, an 80 to 100 horsepower tractor is required for a single row planter. Liners are loaded onto the planter in reverse order of how they will be planted. Planting is done almost entirely in the spring. A crew usually follows behind the planter to ensure that the plants are straight and at the appropriate depth. After the field is planted, a ground cover is seeded between rows to help suppress weeds and control erosion. Kentucky 31 tall fescue is the most commonly used ground cover in the state. The ground immediately beneath the trees is usually kept bare so as to provide a weed-free product at harvest and reduce nutrient competition. Rows are mowed to keep the ground cover at a manageable level. Cover crops can be used during fallow years to help control pests and diseases, increase biodiversity, increase soil organic matter, and improve soil health overall. Pruning is an important part of field production. Pruning is used to produce a straight tree with appropriate branch architecture for each species. It is usually broken up into dormant season and summer pruning. Dormant season pruning is when major corrective cuts are made. The central leader is usually maintained at this time. Summer pruning is for more minor corrective cuts and training. Stakes are used to keep the central leader straight. Bamboo is commonly used, but fiberglass poles are another option. When the plants reach the desired size, they are harvested. This takes varying amounts of time, depending upon the desired finished size, and usually averages 3 to 4 years. Nursery stock is measured by caliper, which is the trunk diameter at 6 inches above the soil line. To use an example, a red maple should average 12 to 14 feet tall at a 2-inch caliper, a common harvest size. According to the American Standard for Nursery Stock, a 2-inch caliper red maple should have a minimum root ball diameter of 24 inches and a minimum root ball depth of 14 3/8 inches. The plants are dug using a hydraulic tree spade. The spades are usually front-mounted on a 75 horsepower skid steer. They are also sometimes mounted on a tractor, though this can be more difficult to navigate in tight rows. These hydraulic spades have interchangeable blades to change the shape and size of the root ball being dug. A hydraulic spade is an expensive piece of equipment which can last a long time with proper maintenance and when operated by a skilled operator. Digging is scheduled in spring before bud break. For some species, digging is done in fall after the leaves drop. The root balls are wrapped in burlap and placed in wire baskets to protect them from injury while they are in transport to their final destination. Trunk protection is also applied to keep the trunks from becoming scarred. The burlap is secured using pinning nails, and the basket is tightened and secured with twine. The wire basket is also tightened to further secure the root ball. Twine is used to tie up the branches to protect them during transport. Harvested trees can weigh upwards of 300 pounds and require mechanized transport out of the field and for loading onto the truck for transport.